We have a lot of things to discuss today.
I genuinely didn't know what was going on with the Mo stuff until 11 green. It was just wild to me.
I feel like for the fans, it's a shocking thing to hear.
I'd say it's that last tee shot I hit on 18 I'd say is the same as first tee to yesterday.
That is the definition of locked.
Yeah, I'm a much different golfer now than I was when I was playing pro golf before. I mean, I genuinely believe right now my game is at a point where if I'm playing well, I can play with anybody. God has blessed me so much through all of it because I literally went from almost dying from drinking to getting sober 3 months later, meeting you guys, getting involved with Good. It's crazy how just everything's worked out.
All right, guys, we're back with another Good podcast, episode number 2. Featuring the one and only, probably the most popular man in YouTube golf right now, Brad Dalke.
Hello.
Garrett Clark.
Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk about everything.
Appreciate you coming on. We have a lot of things to discuss today. I got a lot of notes written out. There's a lot of questions from the fans right now as to what's going on and whatnot, but you obviously just won the Internet Invitational. So I think that's like the first things first. We need to talk about the Internet Invitational. Talk me through the win real quick. Let's talk about the positives first because there was a lot of drama that I also want to speak about. But let's talk about the positives.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think you mentioned in the last podcast, shout out to Barstool Sports, Bob Does Sports, Foreplay, Big Cedar, everyone that made it possible. Because, I mean, the 3 days, I didn't know what to expect going into it. I don't think you did either. We didn't know the format. We didn't know if this was actually going to work. I know you mentioned, like, you saw all the mics and the cameras, and you're like, there's no way they actually get this done, like, smoothly. And the way it was edited, the way it all just went down, it was, I think, the best case scenario for just how it all ended up looking, the finished product. But it was a fun week. I mean, it was stressful. It kind of went from, it slowly got more and more serious as the week went on, because at first you're like, okay, what are the odds I'm going to be one of the last 3 people? Like, not very high. So let's have fun with it. Let's have fun, playing golf with, for me, like Gruden, Chandler, Biz, Roger, all these guys. Like, let's have fun playing with them because, most likely I won't make it very far just because odds of that happening aren't very high. But slowly, as we kind of kept winning as a team and kind of kept going along, it all of a sudden got pretty real, and I kind of went more into tournament mode. Got a little more serious with it, trying to make sure we had a chance to win that $1 million coming down the stretch. But I mean, such a fun week, and it's been cool to watch these last 3 weeks, just how everything's come out and all the attention it's gotten from the fans. It's been cool to see.
Yeah. I did want to say something because you're saying, like, I feel like for the fans, it's a shocking thing to hear when you're like, oh, the odds of me making it to that last 3 is, like, so slim. But I think one thing to just take a note of is, like, there was Wesley Bryan, George Bryan, Luke Wan, a lot of great other players that also didn't make it to the last 3, obviously. And I think there was some truth to what Dave wanted at the beginning of that Internet Invitational when he was talking about it. Was he wanted the opportunity for just any skill level to potentially win that $1 million. Obviously, you had Francis and Beef, who are also a part of the $1 million share. Yeah. But I think they did a pretty good job, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with the format and almost like equaling out the competition, because you obviously played way better than anyone in the field, but it wasn't like a normal tournament where if you knew you went out and shot 6 under for 4 rounds in a row, you were probably going to win. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a perfect job. I mean, I think that's the best format they could have done. With 48 golfers, nobody's the same skill level. There's so many different tiers of skill level. What do you got to say, Asher?
Hey, what'd you do? You'll be fine. We got Asher. Sorry, we got Asher in the pod.
Asher's chilling.
You want to say
I
something?
need to give him a seat right here.
Yeah, you want to? Here.
Good boy.
Good boy. All right.
But so many different skill levels out of 48 guys. Like, I think that's the best thing they could have done because it gave everyone a chance to see, like, how a player of my caliber would react to $1 million. It's wild. Here, Asher. What would you like to
say? Okay, you can get down because you're actually distracting me. We need to focus up. Okay, go ahead.
But I think it gave everyone a chance to see how someone like me, how I handle like the stress of $1 million match, and also how like someone like B for Francis or Frankie handles it. Like it gave the viewers a really cool sense of like, hey, this is for $1 million. Let's see how a like past pro handles it, and also how a comedian handles it. Yeah. Like it was. I think the format was fantastic. I think they did a great job on being able to make it even as possible. And I mean, I saw a bunch of comments saying like Brad was playing so good, like he was for sure gonna win. I played my butt off the last round. We won 1-up. Yeah. So it's like it was, I think, very fair, and I think it made for good TV.
I got some phenomenal deals in here! Black Friday only! Oh yeah! Black Friday deals! Come here! Black Friday deals! This year, we got great stuff this year! Printed polos, $75.99? $75.99! Nope! Guys, it's as low as $35. $35 you can get it right now. We're only at googogolf.com. Okay, Q-Zips. What were they, $100? Nope! As low as $50. And only at googogolf.com. Come on, give it to me. Hoodies. What are hoodies? $70? No, $35 right now at googogolf.com. We got prices so low, Santa doesn't know what to do. Okay, the elves, no one knows what to do this year. Fleece crew, $60? No, now it's $30. T-shirts, $30? No, $15. We got head covers for putters, for drivers, for 3-woods. Low as $17.50.
And his name is John.
Oh! Deal's so good, the price is cut in half for some of this stuff. And only at googogolf.com right now. I think it was gonna break so good.
I did want to talk about one thing, because at one point you said that was the most nervous you had ever been, almost equal to or more than the first tee shot at Augusta. Mm-hmm. Insane. Like that's a crazy thinking about that, because I know if I'm at Augusta standing up there in front of everybody at literally playing the Masters, I wouldn't be able to hit the golf ball. And you're saying it was the same.
I'd say it's that last tee shot I hit on 18 was very similar feelings. I'd say it's the same as first tee at Augusta, because like the way it was all set up, I mean, this whole like 6 stressful rounds of golf are all down to basically me hitting this drive, because like Frankie had already hit it in the right crap. So I knew if I hit driver up there in the fairway, we're probably going to win. Most likely. We'll be odds favorites, after if I hit a good drive. If I hit a bad drive, then we probably lose. So it was like literally in that moment, and then you have Dave up there announcing like, Frankie butter knives, versus, me. It's like the whole setup of everything came down to me whether I can hit this fairway or not. And obviously with the past I have with the driver, it's kind of like, I mean, I wasn't worried about that in the time at all. But it was literally $1 million drive. Yeah. And so, that's kind of what it came down to. And that's why, I mean, over that ball, it was the same feelings as the first tee shot at Augusta, where I'm shaking like a leaf. Swing thoughts are almost out the window. It's just literally like swing as hard as you can and just hope it goes straight. And luckily it did.
Yeah, because you used to talk about how you had the driver yips at one point in time. And so, I mean, as much as you don't want that to creep into your head, there's definitely a factor of it where it's like, now that there's a bunch of pressure on the line, how's my swing going to actually react?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And it's, I'm confident enough now that, I mean, I think for the rest of my life, it'll always be in the back of my mind a little bit, just because it was, 5 or 6 crappy years, just not fun. It'll always be in the back of my mind a little bit, but I think I'm so confident now, and I know my swings is just so much better now than it was then. I'm still confident in the fact that I'm gonna go up there and step up and hit a good shot when I need to. So I think it'll always be in the back of my mind a little bit, but also it's like that. It made me just through that moment. It made me so proud of myself in a way, because it just shows how far I've come. I mean, literally, if you gave me that tee shot 5 years ago, that ball would have been off the property.
Really? I mean, that's a crazy thing for me to even comprehend, because I've played with you for now 3 years now. It feels like 2-3 years, however long it's been. And we don't see that anymore, which is wild. Our brains can't even comprehend you doing that. Yeah, that's not a thing.
I mean, when I first started doing stuff with Good, it was like I was on the back end, like I was on the up and up. Like early on, I was still hitting some squirrely drives, but nothing near as bad as it used to be. And then obviously just through YouTube, like YouTube's a perfect space for it because like there's enough pressure with the camera on that it will expose you if you're not playing well.
Yeah.
But I'm not having to spend $1,500 to go play in a mini tour event and just like work on things. Like it's a perfect spot to like work on things, build confidence, and also have just enough pressure to like, it's not like a driving range where you can go out there and just hit a dead straight ball all day because there's no pressure. Like there's enough pressure to actually expose yourself and gain confidence. And I think, I've just been building confidence for the last 2.5, 3 years through playing with Good and playing on YouTube. And it's kind of all, accumulated to this. So
Yeah, that's so true. I wanted to talk about one thing because me seeing it from the outside looking in and watching, that final round and watching you guys win and seeing, Beef break down in tears on the last hole. Now thinking back to that is a very emotional thought, and it's very special. I know I've talked about it and a lot of people have talked about it, but the fact that he was able to hit the first tee shot and the last shot of the Internet Invitational was really special. What was that like being on a team with him, also Francis, but specifically Beef? Rest in peace to a man who was genuinely one of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're in the same boat as I am. We didn't know him super well before that week in Branson. Obviously, we'd seen his clips on Instagram and all that, and he seemed like just a fantastic guy. Seemed like just a stand-up guy. And then we met him that week and really I got to hang out with him. I played with him against Roger in that third round, and then obviously those last 2 rounds. And he genuinely was the nicest guy. And I've been saying this. There's not many people that can, when you're talking to them, they can make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. But he's one of those people. Just the way he talks to you, the way he communicates in the conversations, like he makes you feel like you're the most important person in the room when he's talking to you, and that just says a lot about someone's character when they can make you feel that way. And the team chemistry was, I think honestly, and I've said this too, I think the team chemistry that me, Beef, and Francis had won us the event.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think we were constantly picking each other up. We all enjoyed each other's company. Like we enjoyed fighting for each other, like grinding it out with each other. Because like that par 3 contest on the semifinals, we missed 6 greens in a row. And I think if any other team does that, like they're unraveling.
They crumble.
They're gonna make some bogeys, maybe even some doubles with a bad chip and then a 3-putt. Who knows? But we enjoyed, like, we were just rooting each other on the whole time. Beef started off poorly in the par 3 video, and me and Francis just kept lifting him up because we knew we needed him. Like we knew like we couldn't turn our back on him, on Francis. They couldn't turn their back on me. Like we had to have all 3 guys in the game at the same time to keep just grinding out, and you just never knew what might happen. So and their character and their personalities made it easier to do that. If I'm playing with someone who maybe I don't enjoy so much, don't like as much, it'd be very easy to maybe, if they start playing badly, kind of, turn your back. Obviously, I hope I wouldn't do that, but like, it'd be a lot easier to almost do that if they weren't as good of a person. Yeah. But Beef was the easiest guy to root for, easiest guy to, if he hit a bad shot, go up there and just say, hey, you got it. You're good. You're fine. I know for a while he was thinking he was like costing us the tournament. And it's like, no, we got lots of golf left. We need you, and then he ends up making like 3 clutch putts on the back 9 that literally might have saved us. So he was just such a great guy. I mean, Francis is fantastic too. Francis is the funniest guy in the room, and he's so fun to be around. But Beef was just an easy person to play for, easy person to root for, and obviously those emotions at the end of the event just showed how much that meant to him, and how like that was literally, and it was for me too, but that's literally life-changing money for him.
Oh yeah.
And then now you watch the event back, and him crying and being emotional is like a whole different, like in that moment, him crying was like, oh, this is life-changing money for me and my family. And now it's like him crying is like that. It's his tribute to YouTube golf. It's his tribute to the Internet Invitational. Barstool foreplay, like that's his moment,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like going to be, etched in
The
like
Beef
the history
Invitational.
of YouTube golf. So it's just wild to see the emotions at that time versus what they are now, and like how different it seems, but they're so great still.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's special to look back and know that he got to experience that moment.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's what you were just saying. Like, it's a testament to his character. The fact that now every single person online has said Beef was the nicest guy to ever exist, which is amazing, and it is very.
And it's all true. It's like it's some of those things where like if someone passes away, they you see a lot of stories and stuff. How they're great and Beef genuinely. I think every single person that posted about him genuinely meant it with all their heart. Like he never rubbed someone wrong. He never like did anything to cause any drama or whatever. Like he did his job.
Solid.
He was a great guy. He made everyone feel special, and that just shows how good he was raised and just how good of a person he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think on a lot. I mean, obviously, we can look at that and be like, it is a very sad moment, but it's like you said. At the same time, it's something to be very thankful for that he got to experience that moment. We all got to watch it and be there, and that was very special. But to get into a different topic here, kind of something that I saw get posted on Instagram. Good posted a graphic of you that was saying your winnings in 2025 from competitive golf that happened to be YouTube competitive golf was $453,000. Obviously a life-changing amount of money, but I want to do a little game here. I want to play a game with you, okay? I'm going to list names and you're going to go higher or lower. You're going to say if they made more than you in 2025 or you made more than them in 2025. So, right now I have a list of pros here, and this is from the official money earnings on the PGA Tour of 2025. We're going to start off with Wesley Bryan. Lower or higher than Brad Dalke?
I'm going to say he's lower.
Lower at $74,000.
Yeah.
We're going to go Nick Hardy. Higher or lower than Brad Dalke?
I feel like he had some good finish. I'm going to say higher.
Lower. $432,000.
That was close, though.
We're going to go Adam Stevenson. Higher or lower than Brad Dalke?
Oh, gosh. I'll go lower.
Higher. $487K. You're off to a tough start. You're 1 for 3. Patton Kizzire, lower or higher than Brad Dalke?
Did he have a
That's a good pull of a name right there,
That is a really good pull. I'm going to say lower.
Lower.
Yeah.
$283K.
Okay.
Webb Simpson, higher or lower?
It's got to be lower. I haven't seen his name in so long, I feel like.
Lower. $331K.
Okay.
Quade Cummins, higher or lower?
I'm going to go lower.
Higher. $539K.
Oh, I would have texted him immediately.
I know.
Oh, no, I can't.
That's an old teammate of Brad's, by the way.
Love Quaid.
For anybody. Okay, Danny Willett, higher or lower?
Lower. No, well, that's one. I'm gonna go higher.
Sneaky higher? You're correct.
He plays a lot of European tours. So
$539K.
Okay.
We're going to do these last few quickly. Luke Clanton, higher or lower?
Higher.
Lower.
No, because a lot of it was Gosh,
I knew I was going to get you on that one because he was an amateur
Yeah.
for a lot of them.
He
Nick
had, like-
Watney, higher or lower?
Lower.
$43K, lower. Chris Goddard, higher or lower?
Higher. 100% higher. He made more than that in one event.
$4.8 million, higher.
Yeah.
And then finally, Scotty Scheffler, higher or lower?
It's a tough one. I'm gonna go higher.
I think you got that one right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still crazy. I think
Yeah,
we need to talk about this for a second. Like, these are a lot of names that I grew up watching in the world of golf, and I know you did as well. You got guys like Webb Simpson, Patton Kizzire, like I said. Even the fact that, like, from YouTube earnings, you were close to Danny Willett. Masters winner? He won the Masters. You got guys like, Wesley Bryan, Danny Willett, Masters winner, Webb Simpson, Patton Kizzire, all guys who, I grew up watching. And the fact that in the world of YouTube golf now, from competitive events through just YouTube, you can get close to that is awesome. It's
wild.
It's crazy. It's a crazy thought, but it's wild.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I think, obviously, there were 2 main events this year that had that purse for the winner, and luckily I was able to win both of them. But I think this goes along. Lizard.
Lizard.
This goes along with some people, commenting and all that, but why is Brad needs to go to Q school and all that, and it's there's no desire. The money in YouTube now, there's no desire for me to go grind.
Yeah,
grind through the ranks. If you said right now you had a PGA Tour card and you had a full PGA Tour schedule, then heck yeah, I'm gonna go play that. But there's just no there's enough money in YouTube now, and I'm having so much fun with it, and it's so stress free. There's no desire for me to go into the most stressful environment of Q School, Korn Ferry, PGA Tour Americas, all that. I just don't feel any desire to do that. Now, again, if I got a couple sponsor exemptions and got opportunities to do that way, then, we'll see what happens. But, it's just crazy how much money is in YouTube golf now. Obviously, just through the videos and, through Good and all that. But then now all these events are having, huge purses like this, and I think it's going to get even bigger and bigger. It's just wild to see, and it's cool to see. I think the audience loves it. The audience is shifting to YouTube golf, and I think that's where the money is headed to.
Yeah. No, and I agree. This was a later topic that I was going to discuss, but let's just get into it because I think that is obviously what everybody's asking. Oh, why is Brad not on tour? Why is Brad not trying? Why is he not doing this, this, and this? And I think what you said is obviously very true. You trying to go put in the grind hours of working your way through Q school is probably not as worth it as you having fun. You have a wife, you have a life. You're already very successful in the YouTube space, clearly, and playing very good golf, making good content, good Brad Dalke, all that and whatnot. So, as far as you going and spending all those grind hours in that time to potentially just not make it, never, obviously you're amazing, but there is still a portion of luck that needs 100%. To be involved. You have to play well at the perfect times. You have to, win and get through each stage of Q school and then make it onto the tour. So, that's one thing, but I wanted to bring up something because something that you talk about, and I know that pros talk about as well, is the fact that you grew up with a lot of these guys. You grew up with Morikawa, playing against him. I just saw him on the Foreplay pod mention you and talk about how, you were a world beater back in junior golf. You played with and against Scotty Scheffler. You had an arm wrestling match with Rory McIlroy. Put that on the screen. You beat him.
Do it. Whooped his butt.
You beat him, right?
Yeah, I did.
Amazing. Even played in the Masters, obviously, all these things that people know. But watching guys that you grew up playing against, does that give you the urge ever to be okay, yeah, I do want to try it? Or is it still one of those things where it's if somebody brought me a sponsor's exemption, of course I'm going to do it? I.e., obviously, with Grant getting offered his sponsor's exemption, you've talked about, obviously since you are a pro or you're at that level, if you were to get offered a sponsor's exemption, you would accept and you would go play.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would 100% accept because, I genuinely believe right now my game is at a point where if I'm playing well, I can play with anybody. And I think that's where, obviously a lot of people say, Brad tried pro, he failed, so whatever. It's I'm a much different golfer now than I was when I was playing pro golf before. And I genuinely believe, and I think my game is at a point to where obviously I'm better than I was when I was a junior golfer, but compared to others, it's getting back to that point where I can play with, the Morikawas, the Scotties, and all that. And I think there's a consistency level to it. I think, and I'm getting there. I think I've gotten a lot more consistent as well. I'm consistently playing better, but I think at my best, I can play with anybody, and it's a matter of just making my bad days better. Because obviously, again, we're comparing it to Scotty here, who's literally like on a Tiger Woods-esque run right now. Yeah. But his bad days are shooting like 68, 69. Like but again, it gets Scotty though. Like, before maybe go to like a Jason Day, like, he's obviously someone who has been doing it for a long time, had his card for a long time, and it's tough to do, but that just shows like his bad days are not very bad. Yeah. And his good days are obviously good enough to win. If he puts 4 good days together, he could win any PGA Tour tournament or a major. So it's a matter of, my best days are right up there, I think. It's a matter of just making my worst days even just a little bit better. Yeah. But I think, I'd 100% accept the sponsor invite if it was asked of me, or if I was offered one. And I think it's, it'd be fun to give myself a chance to go compete against all the guys I did growing up. Scotty, Sam Burns, Morikawa, Hovland, all these guys that I've known forever and have beaten them a lot of times growing up. It'd be nice to have a chance to go, show them what I'm about now. Yeah. They haven't seen me play golf when I'm hitting driver as well as I am now. So it'd be cool to give myself a chance. Yeah, no, I agree. And I've seen it firsthand. I think it's one thing to hear it from like Colin Morikawa on a podcast or whatever, but like I've watched in person Jason Day tell you, like, why are you not? Yeah. Like, after you've hit golf shots that he's like astonished by. You're even like, and that to me is testament to your game, because you're even impressing pros in person, which, because like you through a screen, obviously you can be like, he's a really good player. Yeah. But it's hard to really tell unless you're in person. And you saw it at the Internet Invitational when everybody was like literally just blown away. Mm-hmm. Every time you hit a golf shot, everyone's like freaking out. Yeah. It just shows, like, in person, it does look pro. There's a difference. When you're hitting it well, it looks pro. Yeah. I appreciate that. And it's, again, like you said, it's easy to hear it through the screen and hear everyone talking about it, hear Bob shouting to the skies every single time I hit a shot. Yeah. Bob was freaking out, Bob and Joey. But that's hilarious. It is. That was a cool moment. That was kind of a turning point moment maybe for me whenever Jason said it in person. I remember. Just because I knew I was playing well. I knew I was hitting driver really well. The game was rounding out very, very well. But I think hearing that in person from another pro who's done it for so long, and obviously I've known Jason for, since I was a kid. We used to practice. He used to actually live at the academy I went to for a couple of years. Really? Yeah. Whenever I was 13, 14, he was practicing at the same place. I practiced like every day in Dallas. So I've known him for a long time, but hearing that from him in person and just him literally like astonished that I'm not trying it again, I think that was a turning point, kind of a little validation. Like, okay, I actually am playing good golf again. Like, I actually am, my game is getting better. Like, it's starting to be seen by Jason Day, yeah. He's asking why I'm not trying it again. So I think that was a big validation, and obviously we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm excited. All I can do is just keep playing good golf. Keep doing great stuff with good and just in the videos and all that. And then if the sponsor exemptions come, if anyone wants to take that risk, and everyone watching, if anybody has a connection, I will not even think about it. Instant yes. I will. If I get an email, I will reply within a minute and say yes. There's going to be a bunch of fake emails now coming through. Yeah, I know. Right? Your email box is going to be exploding. Maybe a little. Speaking of exploding, what if I got like email from like the Masters? First ever sponsors exemption. But no, like, speaking of exploding, one thing that I need to talk about exploding was this freaking drama at the Internet Invitational. So, from your perspective, we got to rewind to hole number 9. Okay. Final round. Paige goes over to the ball, matting down the grass. Clearly against the rules, obviously. Said she didn't know that it was against the rules. Fair. If she didn't know it was against the rules, she didn't know it was against the rules. Peter walks over to you in the cart and is like, hey, just want to let you know. Like, keep an eye on it. Like, don't need to say anything. Then Francis is like, I'm going to say something. Now, from Francis's perspective, if I'm Francis in this situation, obviously, and I've been told that
you know, I've never played competitive golf. I probably would be a little bit petty in the situation.
Yeah.
Like, and if I was Francis in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, I'm definitely going to say something.
Yeah.
And obviously went over, said something. It created this big ordeal. And then it was like, bang, bang. It was like Paige is down on the green. I'm watching it. She's obviously in tears over the situation, really upset. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Mo just becomes the worst guy on the planet Earth. And like I said in the last podcast, you would have thought all hell broke loose. But from your perspective, being a guy who's just trying to focus and win, what were you thinking?
It was just wild to me. I didn't know. So obviously Peter lets me know on number 9 after the hole. Kind of lets me know what was happening, and I told Francis, obviously, like, and the good thing, I mean, we won number 9. So I think it was even in the video. I told Francis, like, hey, like, we won the hole though. Like, maybe we just keep an eye on them. You know, if they do go in the weeds again, maybe we just go kind of just keep a little closer eye. You know, maybe put a little to make sure they don't do anything else or whatever. And at first, I don't know if it really got shown much in the video, but at first Francis was like, yeah, that's a good idea. We won the hole. Doesn't really matter. You know, if we had tied the hole or lost that hole, then something would have happened right then and there.
Right.
So at first, Francis was actually agreeing with me, like, yeah, let's just don't say anything, not cause any drama. It's fine. We won the hole. And then I could literally see his mind just circling for like a minute or two. And I think he immediately got in the mode like, Dave might do something about this.
He is a comedian too. And like he knows how to push buttons.
Yeah, he does. And I think fair play to him, like to Francis, it's like his mindset was, if I tell Dave this, he might penalize him a hole. And it was a tied match. Like, obviously a hole, you know, getting us a 1-up lead or something would be huge in that moment. So I could definitely see his mind circling a little bit. He finally set his mind on, yes, I'm saying something. Like, they might get a penalty. And then Francis confronts them, and you know, obviously that just on number 10 green, that was a whole commotion. It was, and we didn't see the video until the video came out. We didn't see Paige mat down the grass, and it's definitely a penalty, which I think is it's tough. It's a tough situation because we've all played YouTube now, and if it was a normal YouTube video, who cares? Yeah. You know, it's like, who really cares? We're doing, like, if it's a 3v3 alternate shot on good, it's like, whatever. Like, it's a YouTube video. It's not that big of a deal. But obviously, this is for $1 million. Yeah. And Paige she played D1 golf. She played competitive golf. Like, I would like to think she would know that you're not allowed to do that, but I don't know. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But then the whole Mo stuff, I genuinely didn't know what was going on with the Mo stuff until 11 green. Yeah. Because I was locked in. Like, on 10 green, you know, Paige was crying, all that stuff was going on.
Really? Wait a second. I need to rewind. You didn't know until 11 green?
I didn't know anything about Mo's happening until 11 green.
That is the definition of locked.
Yeah.
Because locked. Because that was a crazy commotion.
Yeah. Because number 10 green, the Paige stuff was happening, and she was crying and you know, all that, and Beef ran our putt by like 12 feet. I think also because he was kind of losing focus because everything was happening. And then for me, I had to absolutely lock in on that putt because we would have lost the hole if I missed the putt. Oof. And I was able to make it. I was able to lock in, make the putt, and I kind of just told myself, like, I'm not getting caught up in this. Because I'm the A player of this team. If I start playing bad, it's going to be a tough last 8 holes. Yeah. So I kind of just told myself, like, I'm going to lock in. I don't care about the drama. I'm just going to continue to play golf the best I possibly can, and I'll just let all that settle itself out. And I was still thinking about the Paige stuff. I didn't know about the Mo stuff. So I don't hit the next tee shot. I think I hit the approach shot on 11, and then we get up there to the green, and that's when I found out. Like, I was like, Paige was. I thought maybe it was still about Paige because she was still like kind of teary eyed, but then I hear someone on the green say like Mo with slope. And I was like, what happened? And they're like, oh, Mo might have had his slope on back there. And that's when I found out. And again, I was trying to stay out of it. I just genuinely in that moment did not care. I just wanted to play golf the best I could. I kind of had Francis as my, like, he was the one that was kind of fighting for like a penalty possibly. So I kind of had him, and I knew my role in that moment was just to play golf the best I can. So
smart.
I tried. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't want to get caught up in the drama. And And obviously, looking back at all of it now, it's a lot. And it was crazy how it was like back to back. Like there was no holes in between. It literally went straight from the Paige ordeal to straight to Mo. But in that moment, I literally had like no clue what was going on. Yeah. Like there's one point where I saw, I think Brendan was showing everyone the video on his camera or on his laptop, and like 20 people were gathered around the cart.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was crazy.
And I was on the tee box just watching it. Like I knew that was going on, but I'm not going to get involved in that. It's like I just wanted to focus on what I was doing and focus on playing golf the best I could, because I knew the only chance that we had to win was if I really locked in and played welcome down the stretch.
Yeah, that's smart. That was your role on the team, and you filled that role. I think it was it was a little weird watching it unfolded, because now I've read a lot of the comments now too, and I want to say there's a lot of people very anti-Mo, they're fighting against Mo, and then there's a lot of people backing him up, and I've seen tons of screenshots, and I've not seen one time where the slope was on. So it's one of those things from our perspective, there's no way of really telling. No. It's just, Mo stood by his word. If he really, he believes he never had slope on, it's like Dave said in the video. You can't look at someone and say, hey, swear to God that you didn't have slope on. He does it, and then still be like, you had slope on in that moment. You just have to, you have to trust it. And I've still to this second, I haven't seen where he had the slope on. I'd be curious to see if that ever happens. I know we are going to have Mo on the podcast, or I'm going to, and I'll interview him a little bit more about, they've been calling it Slopegate. Slopegate. It's ridiculous. It's been getting out of hand.
Any controversy ever, you just add a gate to the end of it.
Yeah. Slope.
I think it's
crazy.
Slopegate. Wild. I think I can see both ways. It's like, obviously I've seen the screenshots too of like slope's not on, and the devil's advocate to that is like, well, maybe he was turning it on during shots and off after.
Yeah.
Which maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I genuinely don't know. And there's also just how he was kind of acting through it all. Like the way he kind of freaked out. Yeah. Like it's a little sketchy. And again, maybe that's just because all of a sudden everyone's like, Mo slope. And he already, like, something was already said at the par 3 course earlier in the day. Like maybe that was him just like feeling like everyone was about to gang up on him. Like, I don't know. And I think, and I've been saying it. I said it in the video I released. Like, I genuinely don't know. I would hope he didn't. Yeah. Like, I really would. But I just don't know what to think, because, it's something that only he knows. Yeah. It's like, because he might have had it off the whole time. And that's why the screenshots show the slopes off. Or he might have been turning on during their shots. We don't know that. There's no way for us to know. And I think it's something that he himself is the only person that truly knows. And I just want to stay out of it. I agree. In the best way possible. And I for sure would hope that he would not do that when we're competing for $1 million, and he might not have been. So I think a lot of the heat's unfair. Again, he kind of mentioned it. It's like he said, hey, you can come at me all you want, just don't come after like family members and all that. And I think that's so valid. It's like, I agree. His family members had nothing to do with. They weren't at the event. They weren't there. They are just his family. So like, why are you coming after the family? Like, some people are just wild for that. So I don't know. It's a whole crazy situation. And I think he's the only one that knows exactly what happened.
What?
I was just gonna say, it was mentioned we were watching it at the warehouse, and like one of our editors, Jacob, was like, why didn't they just give people slopeless? Like, it's such a huge event.
Yeah. Well, slopes, there should never have been a rule in the first place.
It's not that. At the end of the day, like, slope is not that big of a deal. It was a big deal only because Dave obviously made it a big deal at the beginning, which, again, if it's a rule, it's a rule. You have to abide by it, and that's the way golf works. I think it's what you said, though. Golf is a game of integrity. At the end of the day, I think the fans, people at home, anybody who watched it unfold, I understand that everybody's going to have opinions on everything. At the end of the day, it just needs to probably get let go, because it's like you said, he's the only one that knows. Mm-hmm. In this moment, he is currently the only one that knows if he had slope on or not. Just let it be. Yeah. If he did or if he didn't, It's not for us to decide.
Obviously, if his team had won, this controversy might be going on for a long time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like that, it'd be. Yeah, I think Francis would have like retaliated on it.
I think a lot of
won.
I think it would have been really, really
yeah,
bad.
it would have been really bad. So at the end of the day, it's like me, Beef, and Francis won. And if you're attacking him or attacking his family over it all, you were probably rooting for us anyway. Once all the drama kind of unfolded, so it's like his team didn't win. The slope ended up not causing them to win, or whether he had it on or whether he didn't have it on. So it's like, yeah, I think it's a drama that I think a lot of people can attach to for a few days, but it just needs to be dropped at some point soon. Hopefully, it's just it didn't cause a different result in the tournament, and I don't know. Again, it's only he knows. None of what we say on X or on Instagram, whatever. Nothing will get resolved by what we say or by what we speculate. It's just he's the only one that's ever going to know about it. So
yeah, I mean it'll blow over eventually, but we'll also see, because we're gonna have Mo on the podcast here next week. So be curious to see what he has to say. But for sure agree, especially on the family member hate and stuff like that. I think that's a little insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
But getting past that, let's get into one last thing about the Internet Invitational, and then a few more things, and then we'll wrap up this podcast. Sweet. So, Luke Kwan, back in the OU days, did you ever hear any stories of this man sleeping through alarms? Is this like a common thing? Because I know in your situation in the Internet Invitational, your whole team's freaking thrilled.
Yeah.
You guys are pumped that Luke decided to sleep through his alarm.
Yeah, he was the MVP to our team that day.
I was pissed. All of us were pissed.
Yeah, understandably. I was at OU with Quan for 1 year. He was a senior and I was a freshman. And I think like those articles came out about like Coach Hibble getting onto him and like
I wanted to hear about this from your perspective.
I don't think I was there at that time. I think that was like when he was like a sophomore, junior. So I wasn't there for that. And Quan's always been he's just Quan. Like anybody who knows him, it's just like you're not going to meet anyone else like Quan. Yeah. And he's always been that way. But I mean, like when I was in school, I didn't know him like that well. We all hung out a lot, but I'd say, because I was a freshman, I didn't know the seniors like super well. They were like, the big dogs on the team. They're the older guys. But obviously I practiced with them and traveled with him and all that. But he definitely had his like Quanisms, but he also I like that. He also did a very good job his senior year. I think he really pulled himself together a lot and like made himself a leader of that team, just being a senior. Yeah. I think he really took that role well. So wasn't super close with him in college, but I think he did a good job his senior year of being a leader. He still had his downfalls just like anyone does, but I think he, my first impression of him at OU, I don't remember him ever sleeping through anything. I think he had learned. I think he had learned his lesson.
Because I saw that article, I was like, I wonder if Brad had any experiences with it.
I remember hearing stories like Coach Hill would always talk about how Quan like loves to sleep, and he did love his sleep in college for sure. But I don't think he ever like slept through anything, because I think he knew he was on such a tight leash. Like if he started doing that again, then like his position with the team was not safe necessarily with Coach Hibble, because Coach Hibble's very much Coach Hibble's like a football coach, almost coaching golf. Like he's very.
I think you kind of need that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, he's very, very like strict. Like he's the type of guy that if you're on his good side, he is the absolute best. Like he's just such a good guy. Will push you to be better every single day. But if you're on his bad side, he is the scariest human alive. Like if he has a certain look, he has a certain look that he'll give you, and you literally somehow you just like crap yourself as soon as he gives you that look. So I think he had kind of cleaned himself up a little bit by his senior year by the time I got there, but he definitely still liked to sleep. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, he does travel a ton.
He likes to sleep.
He does travel a ton now. He's traveling all over the place, and I guess
bro needs a coffee sponsor or something. Yeah. Like Luke, lock in and get some
he needs a coffee sponsor, an alarm clock sponsor.
Yes.
I don't know.
Everything to wake you up. Like, that's what you need. You need to, like, do a bit where someone walks into your room with an air horn. Holy crap.
Gosh, but he was the MVP to our team. We that was a point that y'all should have easily had. And
Dude, it
was a 2-point swing. Again, like the way the final match ended up that first day, like point wise, it wouldn't have mattered. But I know the mindset and pairings would have been different going in the afternoon. It could have been a different game. Like it could have, because I mean the pairings changed. Like we did pairings like as if we were up 10-6.
Yeah,
like we were, or whatever it was. How many 24 matches?
You guys were up a lot.
Yeah, we were up a lot, and we made pairings. Because we were up a lot, and if it was a 2-point swing that y'all had won that match in the morning, then the pairings would have been different, and who knows what would happen. So,
dude, and it was I think it was like 8 to. I don't know. It was a lot to a little after that
12
first
matches. It was 8-4.
I think it was. Yeah. It was a lot too little, and it should have been 7-5 or whatever it should have been. I can't remember. Yeah. I think that was the one thing where obviously, we probably wouldn't have won if he won his match, but in our minds, we're all like, what could have been if only our team morale was up, everyone showed up to their tee times, and we were all like positive vibes before teeing off, because it was right before we teed off, everyone's just pissed off.
Yeah.
And our vibes are just down. And everyone's just mad. And that's where, respect to you on the final round, just locking in, even though there was all this drama. For our team, we didn't have that mental capacity, apparently. Yeah. And, I lost my first match by a lot with Nate Shot, and then won the second match by a lot. But the first match, like the front nine, we just were down.
Yeah. And that was another instance where I didn't know what was going on, because I got there early. I was on like the shuttle with Bubby, who he was in that match. So obviously he had to get there a little earlier. And I was like, that's fine. I'll just get there and eat breakfast and hang out, whatever. So I was putting with Chandler. I was playing with Chandler that day. I was putting him on the putting green by the first tee. And I heard one of the starters say, "Have you seen Luke Kwan anywhere?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And that was right before I got in the cart, because we were going to go to the range. And me and Chandler, during all this commotion, I was literally like working with Chandler on his bunker game and like giving him lessons on the range.
Nice.
So we were there like 2 hours early. So there's another instance where I kind of felt like I was lucky in a way. I was like away from the drama. All that stuff was going on, because I knew they were looking for Quan, but I didn't know that he actually missed his tee time and he got like a 4-hole penalty and all that. I was just on the range. It's like a half a mile away from the clubhouse, just doing my own thing with Chandler.
Do you think that was the right ruling from a tournament perspective? This is another thing that I've read in the comments where everyone's like, why did Dave penalize them so many holes? They had zero chance at winning the match. Technically speaking, if you miss a certain amount of time, isn't it a DQ?
Yeah.
So
if it was
it should have just been a loss of a match, and which it basically was.
Yeah, so I think if it was, because my mom's rules official, and she was all over it. I'm pretty sure she told me.
Sure she was.
Yeah, she was. I'm pretty sure she told me that since it was scramble, technically he should have been DQ'd, and it should have been PFT against Frankie and Bubby. Which would have been, it basically ended up being that way. So
basically that's what it was. Yeah.
I think, it's a matter of not having, the rule sheet. And we had a little rule sheet, but didn't cover everything. And that's a matter of just, I think next year there has to be needs to either be a full on like YouTube event, or like actually have some rules structure in place. And I think they will. I think they probably learn their lesson and make sure they have kind of everything, all their ducks in a row. But technically he should have been DQ'd.
Yeah.
But he pretty much was. I guess he had a chance technically to, be 4 down with 5 to go. But everyone's saying that he should have just played as soon as he got there. It's like, well, if you actually want to go by the rules of golf, he's DQ'd. But I don't know. It's a gray area. Obviously, I think all the drama with Dave and like his decision, it all comes down to the fact that they didn't have the plans in place to, in case something like that happens. So I think they'll have that next year, and that way there's
like maybe a full on rules committee and USGA officials and stuff like that and whatnot. But
or even if they just got a rule sheet written up by a USGA official, then that'd make it easy. Any questions that they have, they can just go back to the rule sheet and know what to do. So
that's a good point. Well, I don't want this whole podcast to only be Internet Invitational talk and stuff like that. I know we've talked a little bit about you getting into pro golf and whatnot like that, but with this being such a big year and obviously competing in these events, winning that amount of money and whatnot like that, I almost want to take it back a little bit before we wrap up this podcast. And because I know that you have been through I don't know if trauma is the right word, but you've been through the struggles of pro golf. Mm-hmm. You've seen the bad side of the game, and now you're getting to like see the good sides of the game and see how fun golf actually is. But I kind of want to go back to, obviously you grew up playing junior golf with who we spoke about against these pros, and were very good in junior golf. Fast forward to college, have a good college career, end up winning a national championship. And then after college, you pursue the pro golf. I want to talk to you. I want you to talk about that just because, again, you went through struggles and you went through years of it not working. What would you say the lowest part of your career in golf has been, and how has that impacted like where you are today?
Yeah, like a little backstory. You already mentioned a little bit. Junior golf, from the time I was like 13 to 18, I was ranked top 5 in the world, like out of all ages. Wow. And I was lucky because I did grow basically to this size when I was like 12. That's crazy. So I had a little advantage on some of the smaller kids pretty early. But golf was like easy back then. Like I just never remember hitting it bad. Obviously I probably did, but like it was like my bad days were still, for a junior golfer, like really good. Back then I couldn't putt. Like back then I would get top 10 in like every event because my ball striking, and whether I won or not was all dependent on whether I made putts or not. Really? Pretty much, yeah. I had to learn. I learned how to putt when I was hitting the ball like a 10 handicapper, basically, because I had to putt well. Or I was going to shoot 85.
Kind of flip flopped there for a second.
So then, right before college, I started having some struggles with driver, but everything else was fine. And then throughout college, I kind of battled. Like my junior year in the national championship at Oklahoma State's course, Carson Creek. It's like one of the most intimidating courses to hit the ball off the tee. Like 40-yard wide fairways, but if you miss the fairway, it's literally like OB. It's just lost ball. So it's very intimidating. Yeah. I didn't hit a single driver the entire national championship that week.
So your driver you said started in college.
They started in college, and they were very off and on. Yeah, they were very off and on. Like the USAM was a week where I kind of found something with my driver, and I got really confident, and I was swinging as hard as I wanted to. But they were very off and on. So like national championship that year, and my junior year, not the one we won. My junior year, didn't hit a single driver all week, got 11th. Because luckily the driver was bad, but everything else was still really good. Oh, that's good. So like I could, if I need to, I could just hit 3 wood all week and be fine. Really?
Okay, so that's a shock to me. Yeah. You're saying you're going from literally a wood to a wood and still hitting it good. I thought you would have said like maybe a 2-iron or something.
No, like 3 wood I hit great.
How?
I think it's just the ball being teed lower, getting more, because I was very steep. So like
hit those
being
stingers.
Able to get steep, and I could just make a divot with 3 wood and be fine. And in college, sometimes it was great. Like a driver was great, and I was confident. Sometimes it was just awful, where I literally would hit it 80 yards right or 80 yards left, at any given moment. Wow. So then I was able to kind of get through. I didn't have as good of a college career as I wanted to. We won the team national championship, made it to the final or the match play every single year. So like as a team, we did fantastic. But individually, I won 2 events. One was a regional that was a big one for me to win. But
that's good.
I didn't, I didn't have a great college career. It was not as good as I wanted. It was good, but I think going into college, I had the talent to be like a 4-team All-American or 4-time All-American, all that, and didn't quite pan out. We still won team national championship, which is something I'll remember forever. And we had a great time. Coach Hibble's the best at OU.
How similar? Sorry to interrupt, but how similar is like winning a national championship to something you just experienced because you had a team? Like, I think winning as a team's got to be crazy.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. I think obviously national championship is a little bit more special just because like it was a whole season long of like grinding, like practicing with these guys, working out with them at 6 a.m., like all the ebbs and flows that go with like being with a team, like, and all of that accumulated into winning the biggest thing we could win. Like, so obviously that will be the most special thing maybe I've ever done in golf, just because of the team aspect, and like those are your boys, and you fought for them, they fought for me, and we ended up winning it all. So I think that's still going to take the cake, obviously. But so college, I get done with college, and I realize like, look, I need to fix this driver issue. If I want to actually have a pro career, I need to be able to hit the driver well. and me trying to fix my driver ended up making it worse and made everything else worse. So I was going through moments where, like, I was playing mini tour events on easy courses and hitting like 2 fairways around and 4 greens around.
Whoa.
Like it was, I had the full on, like I could not swing. Like so many days, the golf club felt like it was like a pool noodle in my hands. Like it felt foreign because I didn't know, because I was working on so many things and it was miserable. I mean, it was a time where like sadly my whole identity had been like golf, and now I was losing that because like I'd say if I kept a handicap during those like bad years, I was probably like a 2 handicap.
Wow.
Like legitimately.
What are you now?
+8. So, I mean, and that's not even like, I was legitimately probably a two handicap with how bad I was.
Someone needs to make an edit to that. It's like, I was 2 handicap. What's your handicap now? +8. And then edit. That's crazy. I think you literally just did this on the table. I didn't know. I mean, I don't know how to react to that. That's actually insane. 8 is +8. I mean, that's a lot.
And that's legit. Like that's every single 18-hole round I play, I put in there, and it's legit. But yeah, and it drove me. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, some people are finding it out now. Like I'm almost 3 years sober, and that's because my identity was so wrapped up in golf, and there was some other personal stuff going on, but like I kind of led to like a drinking problem that, you know, luckily with the help of family and friends, like got over that and got through that. Luckily, I mean, it's just crazy how like things have worked out in life now. Like God has blessed me so much through all of it, because I literally went from almost dying from drinking to, you know, getting sober 3 months later, meeting you guys, getting involved with Good, you know,
Wow.
almost immediately. Like I started going on trips like right after I met you guys, and then all of a sudden it's kind of led to this. So
Wow.
It's crazy how just everything's worked out. And yeah, I mean, it was a low time. I mean, it was literally, I mean, when people get driven to drinking that much, usually it's a very low point in their lives. So it was tough. My whole identity was golf, and I was losing that because I was playing so bad. But it's all worked out now.
So that's what you think with the drinking, obviously, if you don't mind me asking, like, whole identity being golf and that not going well. Do you feel like that's what led to the heavy drinking?
Yeah, for sure. And there was some other personal stuff as well, like relationship wise. But yeah, I mean, it was full on. Like I felt like, you know, which is it's a good lesson to learn for other people if you're in the same way. It's like if your whole identity is in something that could be taken away from you in an instant, then you should change where your identity is. Because I mean, golf doesn't owe anybody anything. Like my identity was in golf, and it started going poorly. I started playing terrible. And when your identity is wrapped into something that you're not doing well at, or it's not going well, then that's when you're going to turn to something that's more reliable, you know, like getting drunk or getting whatever. It's like, yeah, I could rely on that at the time. And that was, that's what I went towards. So
How
I think
bad was it?
it was not good. It was a lot. I mean, it was like morning time, like all that. So it was bad. Luckily it didn't go on for, I mean, it went on for maybe like 6 months or 7 months. Something like that. I forget exactly how long, but so it was a long time still. But luckily, got through it all and came out, you know, better on the other side. Because I never had issues with it before. I think it was just a lot of stuff just piling on at the same time. Just kind of led to it. And
What do you feel like? Because everybody, I feel like, who's ever had a problem with drugs or alcohol has a moment where it was like almost a kick in the nuts, where they're like, "Wait a second. This needs to change."
Yeah, I mean,
when was that for you?
Yeah, I won't go too much into detail about it, but I mean, I literally almost died from it. You know, not driving or anything like that. I will say that I wasn't driving or anything putting other people at risk. So, but yeah, almost died from it, like literally. So that's a moment when, you know, obviously when sometimes you need that like rock bottom to really realize you know there's an issue. And almost dying is about as rock bottom as it gets. So, but again, I mean, I'm grateful for it too. It's not like I'm, you know, embarrassed by it. I think a lot of people struggle with stuff like that, and I'm just one of the many. And I think my story can help others that are in need, that need someone, you know, kind of like a role model, be like, hey, they got through it. They're on the other side, doing great. And it's like, so I'm not embarrassed by it by any means. I'm grateful for it that it happened, because I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about just life in general and how you can't be putting all your eggs into a basket that can be stolen from you and at any time, identity wise and all that. So yeah, it's it was a ride. It was a tough one, but I'm glad I went on it, and now we're here. I mean, life is great now. Getting to play golf still, stress free, and it's been awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's a good perspective to have, looking back at that and being grateful for it, because everyone's past leads them to where they're at. And you were talking about how like God had a little bit of an impact on this as well. When you say you got sober you said it was within 3 months of meeting.
Yeah.
us?
So I got sober December 12th, and I played with y'all. It's like February 27th. I know it was like one of the last days of February.
It literally gives me chills. Honestly, yeah. That's insane.
It's crazy too, because like I talk about with Colin some too, because sometimes Colin will just be like, I still can't believe like everything worked out and like you played with us like at Oak Tree that day. But like crazy. I always tell him, so funny story. So my brother Tommy is a huge Good fan. He's been a Good fan forever. And like before I met you guys, like I knew who Good was. Like I wasn't an idiot. I'd seen the clips of Sharf making hole-in-ones, all that stuff. I mean,
when we made hole-in-ones.
Yeah, it wasn't Sharf. It was just Good in general.
We made.
Yeah, we. But like I knew who Good was, and Tommy always bugged me about it. He's like, dude, you need to start watching Good. Like it's fun. I'm like, Tommy, I just got done practicing golf for 7 hours. I don't feel like watching more golf. Like I want to watch something completely different. But literally about 3 weeks before I met you guys, I watched the first Good video. I was like, screw it, like I'll try it. And I was hooked immediately.
Really?
Like, it wasn't anything like I thought it was gonna be. I didn't know what YouTube golf really was then. I didn't know if it was like instructional or what, but like it was fun. Like I enjoyed watching it. I'm like, damn. So I watched like a ton of videos for those like 2 or 3 weeks, and I knew like kind of ins and outs of everyone. Like I knew Bubby lined up 100 yards right. I knew Steve was kind of like the loose cannon, that whatever. And I just knew everyone a little better. I didn't know anybody personally except for Quan, but I knew everyone's kind of shtick, you know. So whenever I met you guys, like it helped a ton. Which if I look back on that video, I probably was like so bashful and like quiet still, but like I knew everyone enough to where like I could call you by name. I kind of knew the dynamics of the group, which I think probably helped me a lot, which is knowing that I wasn't getting thrown into something I didn't know anything about. So that's a God thing, I think, just watching Good literally for the first time 3 weeks before I met you guys. And then on the way to that course, I remember there's a Subway like a mile from the course, and it was lunchtime, and I was just going to go grab Subway and then go to the course. And like last second before I passed the turn to Oak Tree, for some reason I was like, screw it, I'll just eat at the course. And turned in. Like there was no like reasoning behind it. I was just like, screw it. Like I just turned left and went to the course. And then,
that's crazy.
But if I'd gone to Subway, because y'all were about to tee off, if I'd gone to Subway, y'all are probably like on hole 2 by the time I'd get there, and probably never play with you guys, never meet you. Like,
probably would have never happened.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So there's so many like little things that I look back on now. I'm like, it was literally all leading to like me being a part of this group, me getting to play YouTube golf still, getting to like show my talents to everyone, and like use my talents to make somewhat of some kind of difference. So pretty crazy to look back on, but there's a lot of little things that had to happen. Yeah,
because we never do stuff like that either. We don't like ever really. I mean, you've been a part of it for now multiple years, and you
never
know
just
that, like,
ask someone like, "Hey, that guy on the putting green, let's go."
No, it never happens. And when we met you guys and we decided to film, it was like the most spur of the moment thing. And I think by the end of hole 1, I was like, Brad's got it. We need to sign him now. I told Colin that right away. Really? I was like, Brad is it. He is it.
That's wild.
And I think it's like you said, there's definitely some truth to probably be told in the fact that you had watched Good and you kind of knew how to interact with us, because we just knew, like, when we were filming with you, I was like, he just seems like one of the boys. Like he's not nervous. He's not like acting weird on camera. He seems very comfortable. Obviously, you're way more comfortable now than you were then. But even then, you were like a seasoned vet from what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean,
we got to.
It didn't feel that way.
Got to sign him right now.
It didn't feel that way. I mean, honestly, that first tee shot I hit at Oak Tree I was so freaking nervous, but it was wild. Like, cause I got to the course, saw Quan's big old head with the good head on, and helped. I went up and like And I wasn't like going to talk to him, like obviously trying to get in a video or anything. I just hadn't seen Quan in like 2 or 3 years. And I was like, oh, there's Quan. Like, I'll go say hi to him, talk to him, see how he's doing. I hadn't seen him since his head injury. So I was just talking to him, catching up, for a couple minutes. And then all of a sudden, I think it was you. You're like, hey, you want to play today? You want to play in the video? I'm like,
that was crazy.
Yeah, sure. I have nothing better to do. So,
So
went and
wild.
played. Then we did another one the next day. Kind of set up that like good versus pros. And then yeah, then we went to,
We beat you guys.
yeah, you did. Oh my gosh. Sharp on number 5 at Oak Tree. I'll never forget the shot. 280 yards. Stone cold, like, tops his 3-wood. Like, literally, like, and of course, he probably played off. He's like, oh, yeah, that was an intentional stinger there. I was trying to hit a stinger.
Yeah.
And it rolled up. There's like, but in front of that green, it was a par 5. There's like a 3-yard gap in front of the green of fairways.
Literally worm
rolls
burner.
up, yeah, worm burner, rolls up the gap, almost goes in, makes an eagle, we need birdie, and that was the difference in the match.
Literally was. I
It was
remember
a
that.
280-yard bump and run from Sharp.
Little worm burner. When did you make the decision? When did you make the decision that you were like, all right, it's time. We're hanging up the sticks for pro golf. We're doing YouTube golf.
I mean, it was short after that because I mean, obviously, y'all sponsored me with the apparel, and I really only had enough money to like give it one more shot at PGA Tour Canada. So I played like after we met, I played one more mini tour event, and then I went to PGA Tour Canada. Played okay, but I didn't make it through. I missed it by like 2 or 3. And that's when I started talking to you. I was like, look, I might have enough money to like, do one more summer of like mini tour events and maybe try Corn Ferry Q School. But I was like, I was running out of money. Like the sponsor, I had a guy help me out for 3 years, and he was so gracious. And, he even is kind of the point where he's like, okay, like we got to stop helping. Like nothing's really coming of this. And I was like, I completely understand. I mean, it's like he helped me out so much for those 3 years. But it was pretty soon after that. I mean, I started realizing, because we went to Dalhousie together, and that trip was freaking awesome. We went to Scottsdale for the Good Championship.
Yep.
And then Chicago, I think, was the next one. And I just legitimately had so much. It was like I was having fun playing golf again. Because even at that point, golf was very stressful. Like I was working on things. Game was trending in the right direction, but it was still very, very stressful. And I think it got to the point where I'm like, this is like, I'm having fun playing. Like this is bringing the fun back into golf for me. And that was enjoyable. Like I hadn't felt that way since I was like a junior golfer.
Yeah.
It'd always been stressful. So I think once I realized that, and then obviously like the financial situation was not, I just couldn't try pro golf much longer. I got to the point where I was like, okay, like if they want me, like I am all here for it. So
Yeah. Wow.
but
That's crazy. And now winning $453,000 in 1 year.
things have changed.
Like
Yeah.
it is wild to think back to everything that you're saying and seeing where like even in general YouTube golf is, where it's going to go. And I think it's really cool that obviously, I mean, we spoke a lot about the Internet Invitational today, but like what Barstool put on, the Creator Classics, and all the different things that I feel like will come out of YouTube golf in the future. I'll be curious to see where it goes, because where it's at right now, from my perspective, I never imagined it getting to this point ever. It's crazy to think back to like the beginning days of Good, even like when you joined Good, like there was none of this. None of this was happening.
No.
And now you have opportunities to compete for $1 million. So be curious to see where it goes in the next few years.
I think we might look back at, like in a couple years, we might look back at this Internet Invitational and be like, that was the turning point of YouTube golf. Because the viewership.
I'm gonna give a hot take.
Okay.
Real quick. Sorry. Devil's advocate. I think it's either the turning point or the downfall.
Why do you think downfall?
The only reason I would say it could be a downfall is how do we go up from here?
Yeah.
That's my only question. Is like, what is it? Is it a YouTube golf tour? Is it, which by the way, do you say tour or tour? Or tour? Tour. See, Bryson says tour. He was really getting on me about it. I didn't really
tournament.
like it.
Did he say tournament?
He says tournament. I was like, you just sound sophisticated. Like you're like, it's too much.
Sounds like a Cali thing.
Yeah, right. But anyways, I wonder. It's like, it's either we're going to get to a point where, maybe there's a tour, or something like that. Or can we go up from there? That's my question. I think it's not a hot take. It's more of a opening a conversation.
That's valid. I think this just showed. I mean, like I saw some tweets about like the viewership numbers for this compared to like big PGA Tour, like maybe not big PGA Tour events, but just PGA Tour events in general. Like it's crazy the amount of viewers that are watching YouTube golf right now.
Yeah,
I think this event might have been the one where again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes with like networks and all that, but this might be the one where they're like, oh crap, like we better pay attention to what we're doing. We better be careful with what we're doing because YouTube golf is gaining a lot of traction.
Absolutely.
So don't know what I literally have no even estimations or like I don't know what the future looks like for everything, but I mean I think this event probably opened some eyeballs.
Oh yeah, it sure did, and I mean it went amazing. So you got anything else that you want to touch on, or?
I don't think so. I mean, I appreciate you having me on. This is a good podcast. I'm excited for this. I think this is. I mean, obviously, I think there are some things in plans right now for good that we're all getting pumped for. And obviously, I think the podcast is going to be kind of Garrett's thing, and I know he's pumped for it and excited. So make sure you go subscribe to this channel if you have not already. I'll give my backing. And I'm always here to hop on if you need me, if I'm in town.
Also, go subscribe to Brad's socials. They're going to be linked in the description down below. And like Brad said, there's going to be some things that are with the good content and channels and whatnot that you guys will be seeing popping up. So just stay tuned. Brad, appreciate you coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. What a wonderful interview. And shout out to the Internet Invitational, everything else. We appreciate you guys tuning into this podcast, wherever you're listening, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it may be. Yeah, I think we're going to close it out there.
Let's make this the biggest podcast, even over Rogan.